Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight we are live. We are continuing our series tonight. We are doing 1992, our top 10 tracks. We want to hear from you in the chat. The more we keep doing this series, the harder it becomes. Let's do it.
Grant's Rock Warehouse, now with the look and feel of hand-tooled leather.
Hey everybody, we are live. Like I said in the beginning, look at this panel. We have got Johnny Metal tonight. We've got BM Bolt. We've got Todd Evans. We've got DC Toontime. And we've got John the Music Nut. Tonight we are tackling 1992. We do want to hear from you in the chat. We're going to keep it loose. These year shows are always fun. And they're loose. And it's just everybody coming here and talking music. That's all it's about. So we got a lot of records to get through. Yvonne will not be here tonight, because Yvonne has to work tomorrow. You know,
pesky work gets in the way of everybody's fun all the time, doesn't it?
It does.
Stinking work.
But that's all right. We can carry on because we have a great panel. All right, let's get started. Let's see who's here in the chat already. Kyle, nice to see you. Jason, how are you? Jay, D Rocker. Oh my goodness, look at those. All right, let's get started. I'm going to throw it over to BM Bolt first for his. Well, we're going to go 3, 3, and 4 like we always do. All right, Byron, you're up. What's your first 3? Well, obviously we know what 1 is.
That's not mine.
Yeah, it is.
It is. All right, my first one is going to be Alice in Chains of Wood. God, what an album this was. Man, I love this album. I wasn't sure what to pick off of it, but Wood is really the song I go back to the most on this album. It's got those eerie vocals, but they do a lot of that. I don't know, quite a few songs. A lot of dynamics, loud and soft in this song. So I picked it. It's just a great track. All right, my next one. We're going to be talking about this guy on John the Music Nut's channel the next week or so. We're going to go a little Gary Moore. I'm going to pick The Story of the Blues off of his After Hours album. This is my favorite Gary Moore blues song. A lot of horns on this. It's a slow blues. He's got a couple solos on it. Man, that second solo, or is it just one solo? I can't remember. It's just a long solo. But man, that solo just builds and builds and builds to a climax. That guy could play the blues with a lot of fire. So we'll be talking about.
But what about
John?
But when he's not playing the blues and he's playing,
he can play a little bit of everything. That's why he's one of my favorites of all time.
Right.
So this next track, this was the song. This was one of the songs in me and my wife's wedding.
Wives?
My wife's.
What the?
Me and my wife's.
I heard wives.
I heard wives too. I was like, wait a second.
Hey,
are you coming to us from Utah? Yeah.
Holy shit.
My wife,
Byron.
My wife, singular, loves to watch all those polygamy shows. So, but she's not into that. She just likes to watch the show. She's not into it. So yeah, this was one of the songs from our wedding, and it was kind of a special song for us. It's gonna be Neil Young's "Harvest Moon."
Oh,
very nice.
It's kind of a throwback to some of his 70s acoustic albums. Really good album overall, but I really have always liked that song, Harvest Moon. It's a nice song to play for your wife. So that would be my third one of the night.
Very nice, Byron. How cute. You guys snuggled.
I love the personal touches.
I do too. Makes it.
Yeah, you gotta tell a little story about how the song fits. How it fits into your life. Why is it a top 10 song?
Exactly. That's part of what this whole project's all about.
Neil, look at that. D Rocker coming in with the outfield, winning it all. Did anybody pick any outfield? I don't think so. We could have.
I can barely handle one life.
My.
Mic drop.
Stephanie coming in.
Yes.
All right.
Coming in hot.
There's Ernesto. Actually
Hello,
showing
Ernesto.
up on time.
There you
My
go.
God.
Ernesto. Good to see you.
All right, let's throw it over to Todd Evans for his picks, and then we're going to go DC, Johnny Music Nut, Johnny Metal, and then myself. All right, Todd, you are up.
Okay, my first pick is In Liverpool by Suzanne Vega. She followed up probably the most predictable album of her career, which was Days of Open Hand, with this album, 99.9 Fahrenheit degrees. And it didn't sound like anything else she ever did. And then she followed this up with another album that was really weird and cool and didn't even sound like this one. So this was a really good period for her. And this is a beautiful song. I could have picked like 6 other songs from this album, but the whole album's great.
Mitchell Froome, right?
Yeah, Mitchell Froome. And he did the next one too, but it wasn't like this one. It was different. It's the 90s, so we get to talk about Dream Theater on the Warehouse. And so my next pick, my number 9, is Dream Theater Surrounded from Images and Words. I could have picked a couple other things, but Surrounded is my personal favorite. So lots of great keyboard parts and counter melodies, and it's just a great track. And then the next one I have is from XTC's album None Such, which I think gets better and better and better as the years go by. It is a contender for being my number 1, and I picked Wrapped in Gray.
Nice, yeah.
The almost was a single song, and from this album, and I kind of wish it had been, because who knows what it could have done for them. Great track, really beautiful, fantastic vocal performance from Andy Partridge. You don't think of him as being necessarily a good singer, but he does a great job on this one. So those are my first 3.
All right,
well, that's a band I want to explore more. After hearing Black Sea, I really want to explore XTC.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yep.
See, now this is not, well, this album's okay, but I have other ones that are more. This got pretty slick by this point. This, I always looked at it, they were getting, at the end of the Virgin catalog, and, Virgin's coming down hard on them. And though there's no bad XTC, ladies and gentlemen, this just isn't it's fine, but it's pretty slick.
I'm going to leave that line alone.
I don't know. I don't know,
Big
Steve.
disagreement
Come
there,
on,
Steve. Big disagreement.
Come on now.
But we all hear things differently, don't we?
We all hear things differently, and my way is the right way. All right. Thank you, Todd Evans. Let's throw it over to DC Tune Time.
All right. Well, I've already been supremely depressed in the comments section because I think Kyle mentioned he was born in 1992. I don't even want to tell you where I was in my life in 92, but that brought me down big time. But nonetheless, I shall press on. Now, as we move through these years, we move through our lives. And this is the first time since I've been doing these lists that there are no songs here that made my top 10 from the Billboard Top 100 for the calendar year. So as we're moving along, what wrote on the pop charts means less and less to me. But I will say there is one song that came out in this year that is an all-time top of the list wall puncher, and I pray to God no one on the panel has it in their top 10, or I swear to God I'm going to hit that pink wall right behind me here with my boxing gloves that I've brought out for the equation.
What the hell is happening?
I said, hey, what's going on? If that gives you a hint.
Okay.
Now that we got that bit of business out of the way, let's get to my top 10. And as you know, I always start with a Todd Rundgren performance or production pick. Well, this year we have neither. So the best I can do is feature a group that Todd had previously produced. And I'm going to go along with Todd Evans, picking something from the album from XTC, None Such, but I went with War Dance.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, this album isn't as immediate or as accessible as Oranges and Lemons or Skylarking, but it's chock full of musical gems. And I picked this Colin Maulding song for its uniqueness, because War Dance creates a really somber vibe, but you've got what I found out was a synthesized clarinet bit going through the whole composition, and it kind of ties the whole tune together. Just a very different song. And like Todd, I probably could have picked any number of songs from this album. It's, again, part of their stellar period of this band. What comes next after Rundgren on my, yearly lists? Well, it's funk, of course. And my next pick is from a hard rock band that has made my list previously. And it features one of today's more prominent lead guitar practitioners, or shredders, if you will. It's extreme with the funkiest tune from the album Three Sides to Every Story with Cupid's Dead. And this song starts funky, and when you think it can't get possibly any funkier, it does. And I love the riffage and Nuno Betancourt's searing lead guitar work. Love the Gary Cherone Paperboy call out here. Papers here. Get your papers here. They don't have to do that. That's the band being really clever in the studio and add those little extras that put it over the top. And you also get a newscaster delivering the Dead Cupid story as a radio broadcast. It's just very clever. And I just love about every song on this album. So I could have picked any number of them, but this brought the funk, so it gets to pick. My third one is another group that has made my previous lists. And again, this tune makes it for the same reasons I cited before with them. It's that hard rock Beatles vibe. And we got King's X with The World Around Me from the self-titled album. Great riffage, gritty lead vocals, but with that beatly harmony background vocal that is the icing on the cake. So there are my top three.
Excellent.
Or my first three, I should say.
Right. Yeah. I just kind of listed mine. I didn't.
I never rank them. I just list them in a way that's a bit of a narrative. So,
yeah. All right. Thanks, DC. Awesome. All right. Let's throw it over to John, the music nut. John, what's your three?
Okay. Thanks.
Of course.
More on King's X later. All right. My number 10 is band who's called Grunge Band, but they had a few albums out by this point. This was the only one that I think really did anything. And I think a lot of it had to do with one of their songs being on the soundtracks and movie singles. I'm not going to go with that song. I'm going with Screaming Trees. And this is off of the Sweet Oblivion album. And the song is called Butterfly. Now, this is an excellent, very driving song. Wonderful chorus on here. Mark Lanigan was an excellent songwriter. Whether he was on his own or with Screaming Trees or any other projects he was involved in, but wonderful track. Very, very, very upbeat as well for an album that's more grunge. We're going into deeper themes, but this song really rocks. This is my number 10, Screaming Trees, Butterfly. My number 9, this band had a few hits. This isn't their biggest hits. This is a band that crossed over to other genres too, because they had a little more punch to them that you can hear them on AOR, but at the same time you can hear them on adult contemporary because they were very melodic. And this is Delamitri, and the song is Always the Last to Know. Okay.
DC likes this song.
So, very melodic song, wonderful chorus on here, but very, very catchy and infectious. And again, it can cross over to other markets other platforms because it's kind of safe, but it's very catchy. And it's again a wonderful chorus on. My number 9 is Delamitri, Always Last to Know. My number 8 is one of the finest Canadian exports we ever had. I don't know if we've, as a panel, have ever talked about this band yet.
No, but I like it.
Oh, awesome. So this is a band of 3 siblings and a cousin, and it's still same lineup today. They're still putting out a lot of albums. Fourth album, Black Eyed Man. This is Cowboy Junkies with Murder Tonight in the Trailer Park.
Good record.
And those of you out there who don't really know Cowboy Junkies are there, they kind of got like a different sound to them. They are a bit Americana, but to me, it's like winter music because it's very relaxing at times. Once in a while, it catches fire, but the song craftsmanship by Michael Timmons is their main songwriter. He is one of the wonderful songwriters to come out of Canada. Of course, Margot Timmins was very well known in the late 80s and early 90s for the videos they were doing with Cowboy Junkies. They still sound great today. Excellent track here. He has a very distinctive tone, does Michael Timmins, in his guitar work as well. So that's my number 8, Murder Tonight in the Trailer Park by Cowboy Junkies.
Yeah, that's one of those CDs. If you go through the cheapy bins, there's always Cowboy Junkie CDs in the cheapy bins. So you can get their catalog cheap if you like physical media.
If
And
the
now that-
90s albums you can get cheap. The later albums are really harder to find because they only made so many, and now you gotta go through Discogs, and like you can't even get them through their own website or at their shows.
There you go.
But the 90s albums are easy to find.
Metal Cousins, Cowboy Junkies, haven't heard them in about 20 years or so. Have to re-listen. You might as well. That's what we're about. We're just trying to turn you on to stuff. We're trying to reintroduce stuff to you that may possibly you haven't heard in a long time. But that's what these shows are about. Oh no, Nickelback, Finest. No, Jake, come on, man.
Jake, where have we
Don't
failed
bring
you?
us. Come on. It's a Stay, Shakespeare's Sister. This song is hot. Annie T coming in for Shakespeare's Sister. I don't think we've ever talked Shakespeare's Sister on here. Wow, good. Oh, awesome. No, this is no. 4 non-blondes, no. God.
Don't do it.
Don't say it. All right, let's
right.
say that again, Byron. You were in space-time continuum problem.
Yeah, I think Todd hates that song too.
This is great. I didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah,
Don't make me punch that pink wall.
I hate
Don't make
that
me
song.
do it.
This is not even a wall puncher show, but DC's having his own wall
It'll
puncher
go
show
there.
below.
It'll go there.
All right, and I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. We will keep the conversation going. We're going to send it over to Johnny Metal. Johnny Metal, we're ready. What's your 3?
Back in my music corner. Well,
That's right.
yes, my actual music corner. Not
Yes,
like the last
he's
one.
back, everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm back in my usual spot. So, so my first choice was "What's Going On" by Foreign Unplugged. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just
Stop
kidding.
it. Sean, you're stressing me out.
Just want to say before we start, I wanted to say thanks in advance if anybody subscribes to my channel, because right now I'm at 666.
You've been at 660. You've been at Commercial the Beast for a while.
It keeps teetering. So thanks in advance if anybody,
So you're
know
going
what I
to
mean.
jump the abyss.
Please go to
Exactly.
John's channel and
Yeah.
please get him off the number of the
Get off
beast.
the number of the beast for crying out loud.
Gee whiz.
Okay, now I'm gonna now that I got my metal stuff out of the way, I'm gonna start with my ballads first and foremost. First off, I'm gonna talk about a song here from a soundtrack from the movie Rush. This has Jennifer Jason Leigh in it. Music composed by Eric Clapton. Of course, I'm talking about the tender ballad of Tears in Heaven, written for his son
I
Connor.
don't know. Was it on Unplugged too, though?
Yeah, it was on Unplugged too, but it was definitely on the Rush soundtrack. That's for sure.
All right. Well, we're
very
still
tender.
in the same year. We're still
in the same year. Yes, very, very tender ballad written for his son Connor, who had fallen to his death. Just a wonderful song. Just brings tears to my eyes every time I listen to it. My next song, gonna stay in that ballad, kind of another little tender ballad here. This actually did fairly good on one of the charts here. It looks like didn't really take off until the next year, but Love Is on the Way from Saigon Kick. From the Lizard album. That's a lovely little. I was always so enamored with the guitar from that song. I always wanted to learn how to play that thing properly and stuff like that. So always dug that tune. Actually got up to number 12 on the charts, so that did pretty good in the charts. Yes, it was a big hit. Couldn't get away from the video. I do remember that. Okay, Gary Joyce, maybe a little bit more on that later. Yeah. Next song. This is also from a soundtrack. This would be from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Annie Lennox with "Love Song for a Vampire." However, the inspiration for this song didn't exactly come from Bram Stoker's Dracula. It came from a different type of vampire, from Anne Rice's vampires. The Lestat in the Interview with the Vampire series. For those of you, I read somewhere that they formed a little bit of a bond because they each lost a child very early in their life, and they really formed a bond. So this song kind of really talks about if grief is just like an eternal thing that just never goes away, and it's such a moving song, very touching song. I love the movie. I could have done without Keanu Reeves in the movie, but I still love the movie. But I always loved the song "Love Song for a Vampire." So there you go. I got the ballads out of the way. The metal's coming, folks.
That's all right. They expect metal from you.
Yeah, we're getting a little soft here with all the
Getting a little
ballads and
soft.
wedding reception tunes and such. Come on,
But
folks.
since your channel is the Mark of the Beast and you're playing Dracula and stuff, it all fits together. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm going to go now, and I'll tell you, as we keep going through these years, it gets harder and harder. But there's a lot of stuff I liked in '92. But there's some stuff I was getting to the end of my list, and I was going, gee, can I find a couple of more tracks without repeating? Because some of these things I repeated myself, but like listing the band twice. But the record is so good, I'm giving myself a free pass. All right, my first pick, I'm going to go. These really aren't in any kind of order, but we're going to go with the band. I'm going to go with the band Ride. Now, they were, if you know this band, this is an 8-minute shoegaze masterpiece. It's got a Hammond organ riff. It kind of reminds me of The Who a little bit, but it's pounding drums. The bass is top notch. Layered guitars just drenched with effects. If you like shoegaze, this is the shoegaze anthem. And the album cover makes me feel like I need to get my eyes done. But I like it. You might not have ever heard it, but I'm just trying to go, God dang, Grant, what can you pick? Pick something you can try to turn someone on to. But I really dig Ride. Great band, so check them out. They really don't have much success here in the United States. I think this track actually hit number 9 in the UK when it came out. So anyway, my next pick, this might be the number 1 album of the show. And I don't really have to go into it that much, but I have to go with this track, Off and On Such, The Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead. This was the single. I would probably classify this as, it's pretty damn close to power pop. It's jangly guitars. You've got that great bass playing from Colin on here. It's just a wonderful, wonderful track. It only got to 71 in the UK. I don't think it even charted here. I remember the video when it came out. They played that. But
didn't Crash Test Dummies do a version of that got a little movement on the charts? Or am I thinking of something else?
Good
I
question.
thought Crash Test Dummies did a version of this.
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. All right, so that's my number 9, I guess. All right, my next one. I'm going to go with track. I do believe this was a Mick Ronson production. And I have to say, this is probably the most Smiths-like album that the Smiths never did. And I'm going to have to go with Morrissey. We hate it when our friends become successful from Your Arsenal. Can't talk. Again, this kind of has a glam rock vibe. It's got the jangly guitars. Morrissey, another great vocal performance, and Mick Ronson's production. I dig it. It seems like when Mick is working with Morrissey, everything seems to work out great. But this got to like number 17 in the UK. I'm picking all these damn songs that were hits overseas. What's going on there? But I love this. This would be my favorite Morrissey album. You know, I love this.
I've got a different track from this album in my honorable mentions.
But this, I think, is probably his best album to me. I mean, it all depends upon what you like, but I think this is a great one. Check it out if you haven't. Try to put aside Morrissey's political beliefs because he's way out there, but still puts out good music. All right, that's my 3. All right, let's throw it over to BM Bolt and get his next 3.
All right, I'm going to put some rock back into our picks here. So,
Well, what? This isn't rock?
not to me.
Have no fear.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay, I'll be interested to see what this is.
Your little guitar distortion once in a while and some soloing.
Mick Ronson's soloing on here. What are you
I
talking
don't
about?
know.
Come
I don't
on.
listen to Morrissey. I hear he's a dickhead, but I don't know. That's just people. I don't know the guy. That's what I hear.
Okay, it's fine. It's all right.
So,
Steve Clary's coming in with Prince Sexy MF.
let's go off of this Dream Theater album again. But I'm going to go with
Do we
Metropolis
have to?
Part 1. There's a lot of good tunes on this album. I mean, I went with the one that just kind of rocks the hardest.
I'd rather listen to Morrissey.
No. I'm going to go with this. I'm probably going to get a lot of thumbs up on that pick. So,
Not for me.
I think we talked about these guys. I think it was in 91. I'm bringing them up again. I'm going to go off of Southern Harmony Musical Companion, Sometimes Salvation. I'll tell you, Chris sings his ass off on this tune. He just lets it all hang out. It's a very emotional song for him, I think. He's just belting it out. And I don't know what else to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know it, you know it.
All right, let me calm down.
One.
Calm down, George. I don't need it from you either. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Byron.
All right. I brought this album up when I was on Sea of Tranquility with George a couple months back in our top 10 guitar instrumental albums. So we're going to go off the Steve Morse Band Coast to Coast album. I'm going with the track Morning Rush Hour. This track got airplay back where I'm at when it came out, which was really rare. I don't know that Steve really ever had any tracks that got airplay prior to this. But great playing. I say this every time about Steve. Great songwriting, great playing. He does it all. So that's my third pick for that round.
His work with Deep Purple, you have to admit.
Yeah. Stellar.
And what he brought to Kansas, too.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I like those albums. So
100%. All right. Was that 3?
that's 3. I fly through them, don't I?
Wow, you're so fast. All right, let's throw it over to Mr. Todd Evans. Get his next 3. Todd, you are up, my friend.
Okay, well, I'm going to pick something from Peter Gabriel's Us album, and I'm picking Secret World, which I think is the best song on that album. I mean, there are definitely more well-known songs on that album, but I think Secret World is the best one. Great production, it's just super great track. My next one is from REM, and REM had a really big album during this year, and I picked there were a lot of songs that I could have picked from this one too, but that are very, very popular. But I picked "Find the River," and it kind of ends the album, and it's one of their most straightforward songs. Really beautiful song, great vocal performance from Michael Stipe. One of my favorite tracks of theirs. And
this album, Todd, absolute perfection.
Yeah.
You could play this song from front. I don't skip a track on it. When this came out, it was like one of those moments where I just thought, gee, many Christmas, REM. The gods delivered this record.
And after Out of Time came out, they were teasing in interviews, our next album is going to be this noisy hard rock album. It's going to be this really noisy, distorted rock album. And then this came out. And we were like, well, that's not it. And they were like,
that's not it.
We decided to make that one the next album.
Yeah.
But
so
Automatic for the People.
We were all pleasantly surprised that this one came out. And then for my number 5, this is sort of cheating. This is actually could be considered many songs. But I couldn't talk about 1992 without talking about They Might Be Giants' Fingertips. And if anybody doesn't know what this is, Fingertips is it 20? It's 20 different short songs that are between 3 and 5 seconds long, all combined into one track. And I'm not even going to try to describe it because I could never do it justice. But it's one of the wackiest things you'll ever hear in your life. And if you've never heard it, go check it out.
Yeah, it's great. Well, you know, when this album came out at the time, the critics kind of slammed it a bit because they thought Flood was their masterwork. But I like this album just as much, me personally.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't. It's not really that different from Flood. So yeah,
Not really.
After all these years have gone by and you revisit it, you find a lot of common ground between the two records.
Yeah, 100%. Check it out if you haven't. I used to see back in the day. We used to see They Might Be. I haven't seen any They Might Be Giants in the used bins anymore. But you used to be able to get it back in the day. But it's just not the same world.
Nope.
Like Todd said, it'll be the record changer, and I'll play the record over and over.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the REM record.
Yeah.
I made a comment once about back in the day when we used to go to parties and people would have changers and they'd put one side of an album on and it would just play over and over and over. And you'd be like, why are we listening to side 2 of London Town over and over?
London Town over and over at a party.
I'll take that. My girlfriend at the time would had a friend that anytime he went to a party over at her place, I think the only record she had was Bat Out of Hell. Over and over. I'll listen to London Town that way, but not Bat Out of Hell.
Could be anything. I just randomly picked that one, but yes. And of course, cool. I'm 100 years old.
Me too.
Oh, no one's as old as me.
Well, you're 200. You're 150.
Methuselah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Evans. Let's throw it over to the old man.
Mr. Methuselah.
Well, for our next group of stellar tunes, let's go with a cat who, when he wants to, can be very tuneful and is one of the best. But he has a strong experimental side to him as well. But this is the tuneful, melodic Lindsey Buckingham from the Stone Cold 10 album, and you heard it from me, Out of the Cradle. And the song I picked is Countdown.
Wait a minute, is that a Bon Jovi shirt, Todd Evans? I can't make it out.
Lindsey Buckingham.
Oh, I thought it said Bon Jovi.
I thought he was wearing 4 Non-Blondes, actually.
I thought it was 4 Non-Blondes.
Oh, don't. Simmer down.
That would be the last shirt I would ever wear.
Simmer down. This tune, Countdown, could have been featured on any of the Fleetwood Mac mid-70s classic albums and been a hit. In fact, everything I love about his pop sensibility is here in this song and on just about every song on this album. Folks, if you think I know anything about music or think I have any taste at all, I highly recommend this album. It's his best solo work. There are nice little acoustic interludes in between the songs proper, but this whole album is outstanding. It really is. It's a gem. Speaking of great pop rock songwriting and performing chops, and John the Music Nut has brought this fine group up already. They had it in spades, and they had a little bit of chart success, but in my opinion, they should have been huge. It's Delamitri once again, with once again, always the last to know. Plus, folks, this song features cowbell.
Oh my.
You can't go wrong with cowbell.
DC's got a finger, apparently.
Again, this is catchy, thoughtful instrumentation, great vocals, everything that you would want in a pop tune of any era. And it's from the album Change Everything, which is their best album, I think. And it's chock full of great tunes like the one John and I have mentioned. All right, for my third pick this go round, from across the pond comes an artist who brings a soulful vibe that was so welcome to my old ears in 1992. We weren't getting much of this 70s kind of soul back then. It's Paul Weller from the self-titled album with Above the Clouds. vocals, instrumentation, songcraft. It's all here. Like I said, with that unmistakable 70s sort of vibe. And like I said, for an old cat like myself, this is right in old DC's sweet spot. So done with the second round.
Awesome. Thank you, DC.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Let's throw it over to John the Music Nut. John, you are up.
All right, thank you. Okay, this is one of my favorite songwriters and one of my favorite musicians, and he's no longer with us, but he had a shitload of hits. And my number 7 is a song called 7 by Prince off of the Love Symbol album. How would you describe this? Medieval trip hop.
Medieval trip hop?
Medieval trip. It is so catchy. It has this fantastic chorus on it. But yeah, you got this medieval guitar line going out this trip hop beat. And it's just, it fetches. This was top 10 hit, I believe, too. At a time when he wasn't, well, he was still having top 10 hit. They weren't as plentiful as they were in the mid 80s, but excellent track here. Great album, too. The Love Symbol thing was what they would call it. Just had that symbol on it, and that's it. So it's my number 7 by Prince.
Well, evidently the panel is letting Ernesto down because he wants BM to bring it. It's all on your shoulders now.
Give me a couple minutes, Ernesto.
I brought Extreme and King's X. I mean, they're not Shredder. Well,
we got Dream Theater. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, John, go ahead.
All right. Thanks. All right. Well, everyone watching, I'm sure you'll love this song even more because now we got a dance song in here. And this is a number 1 hit. Oh, I'm sorry, a one-hit wonder, I should say. And I know that if Yvonne was here, he would highly approve of this.
It's a very good song.
Yeah, he would.
With Connected.
That's
This
right
might be
up Yvonne's alley.
He would have picked that.
I have the
definitely
7-inch and the 10-inch.
That's right. Very, very catchy. Hypnotic even. But wonderful song. I think the song has not aged one iota since it came out. Very memorable chorus. Just an earworm, just sticks in there forever. Excellent track here. I wish Yvonne was here. He'd have this in his top 10, I'm sure.
100%.
I know all of you are watching early, loving this one. So my number 6 is Stereo.
Yeah.
MC
You're bringing it, John. You're bringing it.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Nathan. All right, number 5. Okay, DC already named a song off this album, and it is a Rand Kelly favorites.
Oh, my.
And this is off of the 4th self-titled album by King's X. This song's called Lost in Germany. Tell you what, guys, I was once lost in Germany back when I was in the Air Force in 1970. I'll tell you what, I've seen them all. I've seen these guys back in the Troubadour back in the day. I mean, I saw Campbell before they were a cigarette. I saw Fisherman 20 before they were a cough drop. Like King's X. And
yeah, but did you ever see Mott the Hoople, Rand?
Mott the Hoople? Yeah, I saw Mott the Hoople.
And yes? What about yes?
They opened for Flash.
They opened for yes.
I saw
They
Mott
opened for you.
I saw Mott the Hoople open for Yes back in '69. Ty Tabor, though, ungodly guitar tone. And then when he sings, he sounds like John Lennon.
He
There
does.
you
sound
go.
like
That
John Lennon.
Beatles.
Yep.
Exactly.
stuff.
And remember, guys, I've seen everybody. I'm 73 years old. And I've been 73 years old for the last 18 months. But anyway, this is my number 5, Lost in Germany by King's X.
I can close my eyes and it's Rand. Man, that is spot on. Holy
75. You've been
yes.
73 for how long? 18 months? Okay.
John, you have to drop your phone now.
Or go up and go take a leak.
Yeah.
I'll be
Right in the
back.
middle of the show. Right during the list.
I'll
Oh, I
be
gotta
back.
wait a minute, I'll be right back.
Oh boy.
Hey, sometimes we really do need a minute.
Yeah,
we
the,
do.
the mic will
Right.
pick up that empty iced tea
Oh, yeah.
container.
I'm
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right behind Mr. Kelly, so I get it.
Remember so hey, Rand, real quick. I see you're in your studio. Do you ever do shows out of your bed anymore?
And just remember, guys, it's all about the wallpaper. I mean, you can have all you can have all the music equipment you want, but it's all about having a good pillow and wallpaper.
Oh,
It- yeah, it is pretty much.
Oh, boy.
Oh my
I'll tell
god.
you, on half of my videos, you see my pillow because I gotta take a walk sometimes.
Stop picking on older fans. I can pick on Rand.
Depends.
We love Rand. He's
We
awesome.
love
Yeah,
Rand. That's
love
why
Rand.
we can poke fun. Come on. Hey, Rand is Prague, ladies and gentlemen. He knows more about Prague and has seen all the cool bands. This is how we can make fun.
Even
because
bands
he
we've never even
really
heard of.
literally
They're
has
cool.
seen everybody. You know, when you see that shirt, I might be old, but I've seen all the cool bands. That's Rand right there. There you go. Thank you, John the Music Nut. You always know what to bring to this show. I don't know if I could do this show without you being here at this point now. Wow. All right, so King's X. All right, let's throw it over to Johnny Metal. See
All
if
right.
he will redeem this show.
All
with
right,
some
let me
heaviness.
let's bring this up a bit of a notch here. So my next three, these are going to be picks of basically of a community of friends that I was a part of at the time. So they started kind of introducing me to more of the alt rock, post grunge, what metal was turning into, and all these different sounds that were coming out. So my first pick is actually from this band's sixth album. It took them a little while to really get cooking here, but when this album broke loose, there was one particular song that really had a big hit that was just on MTV constantly. But that's not the song I'm picking. I'm actually going to go with Somebody to Shove from Soul Asylum's Grave Dancers Union. Very punchy track. Love that guitar riff that starts off the song and kind of as the theme through the song. I think this is a great track. I hadn't listened to this quite some time, so it was I forgot how good the song was. And yeah, Runaway Train's a great song, but nah, I love Somebody to Shove. And because I think I'm in a little bit of a mood where I'm ready to shove some good hard stuff out there. Anyway, next pick. This was another song that again influenced heavily by the people I was around, and a person that he would actually be my brother-in-law for a short time. I had gotten married in 92, but my brother-in-law was actually the one that kind of helped me introduced me to this song. But then about a year later, it would become really big on Beavis and Butthead. I'm talking about Thunderkiss 65 from White Zombie. Yeah, it's a really repetitive riff. But that groove is there's just something very infectious about that simple dun, 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 that really simple groove. To me, Rob Zombie sounding like Jim Morrison getting on the heavier side, maybe. So maybe this was like if the Doors went psychedelic, Nine Inch Nails sounding, maybe. I don't know. Next, speaking of the Doors, let's go to a different way that they could have sounded. And by this band's third album, maybe he sounds like Elvis, maybe he sounds like Jim Morrison. But when Danzig does How the Gods Kill, come on. That song just is a bludgeoning masterpiece, in my opinion. Very sparse until that heavy riff kicks in, and then all these pinch squeals that make Zakk Wylde go nuts. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I love the ferocity of that of Danzig on this particular song. It's a great song, very emotional. Yeah, I love that. I love How the Gods Kill. Great song. So that's my three on this one.
Excellent. Finally, Ernesto's happy. Hey, that's all I care about.
And White, that is a good song. I'll go with that one. White Cross.
Metal Cousins. Look at Johnny Metal bringing it. Finally. God,
you'll love my last four then too, Metal Cousins.
This show does have hope. It's not through me. All right, here we go. My next pick. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, number 4. Oh no, I got to go the other way. Okay. Oh, I love this. I saw this band. Oh, some say they really can't play, but I saw them. What year did? What was that album? The album that had the song "Cannonball" on it. Todd Evans,
Oh yeah,
the Breeders.
Supertramp.
Oh yeah, I can't
yeah,
remember the name
yeah.
of it. I can't remember
Oh
the name
shoot!
of it.
Last Splash.
Yeah.
This predates this. This is off an EP that came out in this year. I'm gonna go with once I find the graphic. Once I find my name, the Breeders. I'm gonna go with off the Safari EP. I'm gonna go with the track Safari. Very raw alternative rock, kind of grungy. The guitars are very distorted. Drums sound great. Kim Deal's vocals, absolutely phenomenal. It's kind of lo-fi, but it's a great song. And the one thing about the Breeders and one thing about Kim Deal is that they are really good songwriters. So I totally into this at the time. Well, I'm still into it. The album Pod is also great. That's a Steve Albini produced record. And then Last Splash, you can find that in the dollar bins all day. But the Breeders Safari, I like it. My next pick, I'm gonna jump on the freaking Todd Evans bandwagon. I'm gonna go with off of Apollo 18. They Might Be Giants. Mammal, quirky, pop, kind of folky. You got the accordion, you got the guitar, catchy melody. That's one beautiful thing about They Might Be Giants is all these songs are always very catchy, and they stick with you.
I heard them say in an interview back then, melody is our secret weapon.
Damn, you can't beat that quote. It's
Yep.
true. These songs they're kind of quirky though. But this basically gives you a biology lesson on mammals. That's all it is. Just crazy. But this whole album though, I really love it. It all works. The sequencing works. It's a good record. Check it out. Might not be for everybody, but for Todd Evans and I, we dig it. I can speak for Todd Evans on that. All right, my next pick. I'm going to go with another track. This was an artist. There was a band called the Blake Babies, which I really dug at the time. And they broke up. They kind of went into different bands, but Juliana Hatfield went solo. I'm going to go with the track off of Hey Babe, Lost and Saved. Absolutely alt rock goodness. Evan Dando's playing guitar on this one, I think. I know I hear him on background vocals, but Susanna, what the hell, Grant? Juliana I was thinking, you know what I was thinking. Juliana Hatfield, kind of breathly vocal. She sounds like a kid, but I'm lost and saved. I'm a slave. The way you behave. Talks about love, dependency. It's a great track. This is a really good album. This is their first solo album. No one talks about Juliana Hatfield. But damn it, we are in 1992. I can't help it. So there you go. That's my next three. So everybody else is in the chat's going, what the fuck is he
10 songs that virtually nobody knows from Grant.
Well, that's where I was rolling then.
I know.
He's taking the whole deep cut thing to a
Todd's going, but Todd's sitting there going, yeah.
I know these.
I know those.
No, any of these.
I know those. Yeah, I know that Juliana Hatfield album.
I know.
So there you go. But I loved all this stuff. Oh God, I played this record all the time. Loved it. Love the Breeders. All right. Well, anyway, I don't have to go. Let's just keep going. This show always goes an hour and a half. We are now up to BM Bolt. BM Bolt, what's your final four?
Okay, this album's been brought up a couple times. Like I said, I think Grant, you picked something off this as well. You can pick just about anything on here. I'm going to go with Man on the Moon. That song is just always kind of pulled at me for some reason. I don't know if it's the Andy Kaufman references. I loved Andy Kaufman, but I dug the movie quite a bit too about him. So that's the song they did for that album. The movie was really good too. Can't remember.
Yeah, The Great Beyond, I think. Yeah.
Hell, I might pick that in a couple years. So
you might. I'm surprised you picked REM just in general.
I know I've been picking REM over the years. Actually, I have been. I'm not a big alternative guy, but I've always been an REM fan. So, Johnny Metal picked the same track here, Tears in Heaven.
Yeah, I picked it off of here though.
My brother died the same year as this, and he fell from a building as well. So it was always kind of,
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, very sorry.
so it's like you were saying how certain songs affect you, and this one really affected me. It was kind of it's a bummer when I hear it, but when I hear it, it just kind of brings out some emotions. But all right, so let's get back to the guitar instrumental stuff. Somebody asked if I was going to pick anything off of this. This was another album I picked on SOT with George in our top 10 instrumental albums. This is the Marty Friedman Scenes album. I'm actually cheating. I'm picking the first two tracks because they kind of segue. Tibet and Angel. This is not a shred album, really. I mean, he's a little bit of that in here. It's a very Eastern album. Kitaro produces a lot of this. The instrumentation sounds very Eastern. He's playing a lot of those Eastern scales. He's really big on that. So this is a really cool album. Can be very relaxing. It just kind of sits. It's almost a new age sounding, but with some real good, shredding guitar at times. So I really think that's a great album you should check out. And my last pick already. Yeah, we talked about this track when we were doing our Adrian Belew show a month or so ago on Dad's channel. I'm gonna go Big Blue Sun off of this album.
Fabulous record.
We talked about this track, Grant and I, he's tapping his Jeff Lynne ELO Mr. Blue Sky on this track. They just belong together, those two songs, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Very complimentary to each other. If you haven't heard it, you really need to check this track out. It's a great album. Was this our number one album too, Grant? I think it was.
It was our number one.
Yeah, so that would be my final pick of the night.
I think it's the perfect Adrian Belew album.
Yeah,
no
That's
skips.
that's my favorite of his as well.
Yeah, same
I
here.
love it. Yep, great record. And wasn't that his last one for? What was he on? Atlantic.
Yeah, Atlantic. Then he switched that Caroline, I think, records next for the that album with the red cover. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Metal Cousins, do yourself a favor. Go check this out.
I think it's called Here. Is that it?
Yeah, right.
Here's good.
I
too.
think I picked that in one of my top 5 albums. As
Yeah,
well.
that was in your top 5.
Yeah.
Go check out that show, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to learn more about Adrian Belew. So, thank you.
I think I've picked Adrian Belew 3 or 4 times now over these years.
You're a big Belew fan.
Yeah, I am.
Look at this. My 1992 top pick, Faith No More, A Small Victory. All right.
It's a good album.
Metal Cousins, we're just this panel is just trying to do God's work. I swear to God, we're just trying to help you, turn you on to stuff. All right, well, Gary Joyce, go check it out for goodness sakes. Come on, Gary, we expect more out of you. Come on. All right. Anyway, thank you, Byron. Excellent picks. All right, let's throw it over to Mr. Todd Evans. Todd, what's your final 4?
Okay, so it's 1992. I finally get to talk about a band that I never get to talk about. Nobody ever wants to talk about. Nobody ever wants to hear about. I'm going to get skewered by the panel and by the not by the panel probably, but by the comment section for picking this band.
They'll be gentle.
I'm going to talk about Bare Naked Ladies and the song Box Set from their debut album. Now, if you only know the number one song that makes you crazy and you hate it,
yeah,
Bare Naked Ladies can really play. And there's no better example of that than their debut album. And this song Box Set is just on fire. Double bass, stand-up bass, just outrageously good. And this song is about a loser guy who is putting out a box set, and he's talking about how you should buy it, even though you already have all of his songs. I'll read some lyrics. Disc 1, it's Where We've Begun. It's all my greatest hits. If you're a fan, then you know you've already got them. Disc 2, it was all brand new, an album worth of songs, but we had to leave the whole disc blank because some other label bought them. Disc 3 was really me in a grade school play. I had about 100,000 lines, but I must have forgot them. And it goes on in that kind of a Disc 5. I was buried alive. I was hacking up a lung, so they had to use a special computer as my replacement. Funny stuff, great energy, really well played. So that's my recommendation to you. That if you've never heard the debut from Bare Naked Ladies, I almost picked the song Grade 9, where they do a great impersonation of Rush playing Spirit of Radio and YYZ. If you've never heard that, it's fantastic.
Is this the original cover, or is
that is the second cover? The original cover is pretty bad.
Well, this is pretty bad.
This is pretty bad too, but the original cover is worse. But anyway, my number 3. Like I said, like the shirt says, 1992. It's time for some out of the cradle justice. The album that should have been all over the radio. I picked Soul Drifter. It's my favorite song from this album. Countdown is great too. Wrong is great too. So many Street of Dreams. So many great songs. Such a good album. Why it wasn't, I don't know how many times platinum. I don't know. I never understood.
It's astounding. It's astounding, Todd, isn't it? Because these are all classic era or most popular era Fleetwood Mac styled pop rock tunes that are of the highest order. Why and nowhere.
And the tour, he did it on purpose too. On the tour, he said he teased it and he said, "I'm gonna do something really obnoxious with a lot of guitars." And on the tour, he had like a 9-piece band. They were all women, and he had like 5 guitarists.
Oh,
it was so cool. And nobody remembers that. Hardly anybody saw it. Such a great artist. Wow. I'm going to stop now because I'll just give you all night.
And his playing style is so unique, that picking style that he does.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of those guitars now, but in the band for that tour, all the guitarists had that guitar.
Turner,
that he plays.
They're Turners.
Yeah, they all had Turners, identical Turners. So cool. My number 2 is Prefab Sprout, and this is a song called "If You Don't Love Me." It's from the compilation. It was one of 2 new songs on the compilation. The Best Prefab Sprout Life Surprises. Beautiful song. Probably the last song that they did as a band, because they continued on after this with just Patty McAloon and his brother Martin. And this is just before he became somewhat reclusive. If you've ever heard the story of Prefab Sprout, it's fascinating. The guy has like a dozen albums on cassette tapes in a shoebox under his bed, and his friends try to get him to release them. And he's released a couple of them in the last 15 years or so. Great track. Beautiful song. My number 1 has to be A Letter to Elise by The Cure from Wish. I mean, if you're going to talk about 1992, come on. You got to talk about Wish. A Letter to Elise is one of my favorite songs of all time. It's my favorite Cure song. I should say this because I say this every time I talk about A Letter to Elise on the Contrarians, which is a lot, but the finest bridge in this song ever. Fantastic track. Absolutely amazing.
Ken White's giving you some props. He's with you on Prefab.
Yay! Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, I love this band Prefab as well. I'd forgotten about that greatest hit and a couple originals in there.
Yeah.
God, I think it's starting to rain. It's just started to pour down rain. I just heard it. I went, what? But Todd, how do you feel this? Todd, Wish, the last great Cure album? Yes or no?
No, I think Blood Flowers is pretty good. I think the most recent one is amazing. I think that this is the end. The Cure Wish is the end of a very prolific period where they put out a bunch of great albums in a row. It becomes uneven after this album, but I wouldn't say there aren't great albums.
There are great tracks. It was David M. Allen. He was like their George.
Yeah, he was
like Terry Brown to them, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, the Chameleons UK too supported them too.
I thought David M. Allen was just his work with The Cure is great.
Yeah.
There you go, West Coast Dave. Thanks, Todd. We'll listen to that Cure song. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Evans changing people's lives here tonight.
Ken mentions in the comments the other new song from that album is a song called "The Sound of Crying," which is also amazing. I didn't pick it because I thought more people would remember "If You Don't Love Me," but man, both of those songs.
Both are good.
Unreal.
Ken White, look at him. He's
Yeah.
a shining star up
knows
in Cleveland. Ken, he is Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen. Probably going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tomorrow.
Cut's really good too, Eric. Cut's really good.
Cut's really good.
Yeah.
Please, wait a minute. Pumping Vinyl's coming. Please ban Mark Lastman. It's a troll.
Oh,
I'm going to let Byron
person.
or DC check that out. I don't know. I can't do everything. Go ahead, Byron. DC, check that out for me. You've got the power. Use it.
I know.
A
But I
letter
got to
at least
deliver
is a
my
great-
picks.
Hold on. I'll go to John the Music Nut. No, we won't. Byron will take care of it. A letter at least is a great pick. Love it. You know, it's a great big responsibility having that wrench. I know it's stressful. Well, thank you, Pumping Vinyl. I don't know who Mark Lastman is. So
I
he
didn't
might
see
be
anything scroll by that set off a siren.
right. Okay.
There is no Mark Lastman comments tonight so far that I see, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, there you go. I don't know. Thank you, Mr. Vinyl. Appreciate it. All right.
What's
let's
going on?
look at that, Nathan.
Thanks,
Todd,
Nathan.
love your picks.
Oh,
If you get that stamp of approval from Nathan, you're doing good. So
Means
all
a
right,
lot.
Thanks, Todd. Oh, wait a minute. I got one that likes one of my picks. Love Safari by the Breeders. I think Kim Deal has a very sultry voice.
very sultry.
Nice. Never
Yeah.
could scream that good, though. Her voice cracks on screens. I love Kim Deal's voice. She is very distinctive. I love all of her work with the Pixies. I think she added a lot to the Pixies, like another texture to them. And she's very distinct, So, I don't know, Ernesto. Are you really Ernesto? I don't know. I don't know who's the enemy. Wait a minute. Some people call me a troll. It is from the UP. They call it
UP.
Oh, I see. I got it, Robert. All right. You're okay in my book. Yeah.
Little
Mi-
geographical
John
humor
Murphy.
there for y'all.
There you go. We didn't know we were going to have any of that. All right. Let's throw it over to DC. What's your next four, DC? Go ahead.
Well, speaking of the ladies, let's get a lady in the mix here on my list. And this vocal performance is one for the ages. Match that with a melody that is so memorable with unique instrumentation. And how can you go wrong? It's KD Lang with Constant Craving from the album Ingenue. Such a fluid, yet powerful voice. And as I mentioned, the interesting instrumentation, we have accordion, xylophone in the mix that complement the proceedings perfectly. So it was a hit, but it didn't reach the top 100 for the year. But this is one of the few times a pop tune that was featured on the radio and did rise on the charts made my list. Okay, now a Guitar Hero selection coming up, and I know you're all shocked coming from me to hear this. But this artist has made my list before, and I jibe with the melodic Guitar Heroes much more than the speed and light guys. And I picked the song War from Joe Satriani's album, The Extremist. This is a heavy, intense riff.
Look,
Set
Byron
off-
actually said a word.
Heavy.
If you look real hard, Byron's sitting back there doing this. Yes.
He's doing it on the inside.
On the inside. Oh, look at that.
Oh, well.
Copycat.
I knew he would have this album as well, and he would favor this pick among my many that he just shakes his head.
The best pick of the night.
Inside.
Best pick of the night.
But like I
Yes.
said, this is an intense, heavy riff that sets things off, and then we get this crybaby styled emotional lead. I could have also picked the title track to this album, or Crying or Why. It's a very fine album. I'm a big Satch fan. So let's get to my second to last pick. And it's a solo tune from a member of my favorite band of all time. But it's not Paul George or John. It's
Grand
Ringo
Funk.
Starr with Weight of the World from the album Time Takes Time. And Ringo also got background vocal help from Jellyfish members, Andy Sturmer and Robert Joseph Manning Jr. So, of course, I'm going to dig that. And this is the best thing Ringo has done since since the mid 70s. This song is catchy as all get out, wonderfully crafted. And I really wish there would have been more songs on this album in this style, but alas, we do not get any. I don't really care for any of the other tunes here, but how could they not see that there was greatness here and maybe do some similarly styled songs on this album? But
Isn't
that's
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Steven Tyler doing some vocals on this record too? I think. No,
I don't think so. No.
I know he's on one of these.
Yeah, I think of course, Ringo does so many country flavored things, and Steven Tyler dipped his toes in the water in the country. So I'm sure they hooked up somewhere down the line. I don't think it's on this album though. But we come full circle in a way with me and Mr. Bolt. And for my
I think Mr. Bolt is typing on one of those IBM AT keyboards from
That's
1990. Do you hear
what
it?
DC used to type his.
Is that you,
term
Byron?
papers
It sounds
on
like
back in the
click,
day.
I was
plunk, plunk.
typing a comment.
Oh,
You didn't
but
want to interrupt.
is it one of those keyboards from an IBM from
Oh, no,
1991?
it's right. Can you see it?
No.
What the?
This is an
God, didn't it sound like it? I
Pavilion.
swear to
Yeah.
God, that's what it was.
It's an HP
Jesus.
Pavilion.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
That's okay. For my last pick, like I said, we're going to come full circle with Mr. Bolt. And my last pick is an artist who I have a very unusual relationship with. And for the most part, I do not care for his talent. But sometimes he creates something that really resonates with me, and I cannot ignore it. And the artist in question is Neil Young, and the song is Harvest Moon. We come full circle.
Look
This
at
is just a great laid-back country flavored gem. His voice is in the pocket, and even the harmonica solo sounds great here. And I am not a big-time harmonica guy. This is very strange because mostly I cannot stand his vocals. You know, like, hey, my, rock and roll will never die. No. Or Rockin' in the Free Will. But oddly, also, I consider his 70s album After the Gold Rush one of the best albums of the decade. So you never know. You never know. But that's all for me.
Mazzy, didn't one of the Hudson brothers produce this album? I'm pretty sure. I love the Hudson brothers. I'm sure it's
Mark.
Mark. Was it Mark?
It had to be. I think he was pretty much the go-to guy for Ringo for a long time.
Yeah, but I'm sure he was behind that Ringo album. That's probably why it was so great.
Mm-hmm.
Broom solo. All right, Jay. Not sure what you're talking about. Yes, Hudson. Yes, 100%. Maz, you got any Hudson brothers on vinyl? Since I'm talking Hudson brothers, please leave a comment. All right. So was that 4? That was your 4.
I am done.
All right, let's throw it over to. Thank you, DC. By the way, let's throw it over to John the Music Nut for his final 4. John, you are up.
All right, thank you. All right, some more Black Crowes love tonight. Had a lot of it in the chat and on the panel. Going with the first single from Southern Harmony and the musical companion. That's Remedy. God, this song rocks. I love the piano on this song. I think the piano really drives this song, and Chris Robinson's vocal and lyrics on here and all that swagger really, really shines through. Wonderful pre-chorus on this as well. This was a #1 hit on AOR for like 2-3 months. This was a huge song for the Black Crowes. Still sounds so great today. That's my number 4. Black Crowes with Remedy. Number 3. I know Grant loves this album. Because we've talked about. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, prep me.
Okay. All right. Okay, we haven't talked about this band in the chat or on the panel today, but this is probably from my favorite album of 1992. And this isn't one of the 5 hits from the album. This is one of the great deep cuts. I'm talking about the Gin Blossoms, and this is from New Musical Experience, or New Miserable Experience, I'm sorry. And that is Hold Me Down. I wrote it down wrong. So Hold Me Down is just a balls out rocker from this album. Like a lot of this is like adult alternative.
Oh, look what I screwed that up, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I have Remedy and
Hold Me Down Remedy. A mashup.
It's
There
a
we go.
mashup.
It's called a mashup.
Hey, if you had to put all these graphics together, it's a wonder we even have a show.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
That's all good. I'll say one thing about the Gin Blossoms live. I don't think they're a great live band, but Robin Wilson sounds exactly like he did in 1992. He's like Robin Zander. His voice doesn't really age.
Well, I saw him on the 80s cruise.
Okay.
On the first one we went on. Yeah. And he was singing with the Smithereens.
Oh, yeah. He sings with Smithereens now, too.
And he sounded great.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the same hallway, same floor we were on, and I didn't talk to him. I almost did, though. But what am I going to do? Hey, Hey, Robin, how are you?
Hi, I like your songs and music.
The thing is, when they advertised for it, they said that Marshall Crenshaw was going to be on the cruise, but he didn't make it, and Robin was there, and I wasn't prepared to meet Robin. I was ready for Marshall Crenshaw to be on the cruise, but he wasn't. Damn. That's fine. But he was great. Yes, he still sounds great, John. Yes.
Absolutely. Great track from this. This is one of the great deep cuts on the album. I think every song on this album is excellent, regardless of what genre they're going through. But this is my number 3, Gin Blossoms, Hold Me Down. Number 2, okay, Mr. B.M. Bolt mentioned this at the beginning of this show. And I love this album. And Metal Cousins, I know you're not a grunge fan, but you're going to have to go through 2 more songs in the grunge era. My number 2 is from Alice in Chains, and it is Wood. What a bass line. Just simple.
Yeah, 3 people picked this tonight.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So it's
and one of them hasn't gone yet.
That's right.
Oh, well, someone picked 2 people picked this tonight.
Yes.
I thought Grant was the third one that was going to pick it.
I don't.
It's been showing up in the comments.
I don't even own it.
Basis too.
And a number of other tracks from this album too. And this is also on the single soundtrack. If you never heard the single soundtrack, definitely check it out. It is a fantastic soundtrack. There's so much great music. It's not all grunge on there. You got some other great artists on there.
That Chris Cornell solo track is amazing.
Oh, Seasons. Amazing.
Yes.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Who cares about the soundtrack? All I'm going to say is 2 words. Bridget Fonda. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Bridget Fonda. Okay. Anyway, go ahead, John.
There we go. All right. So that's my number 2, Alice in Chains, Wood. I think Byron really described this song perfectly. There's not much more I can add. My number 1 is Wolfpack. Stop
What?
reading.
Look, Helgard's going.
Oh,
no
man.
Stone Temple Pilots.
No Stone Temple Pilots until now. I love my number 1 song.
You ready?
1992. This song has not aged at all. I never turn the channel when this comes on. You still hear this on Sirius XM. You hear it on Lithium. You'll hear it on Turbo. You'll hear it on
FM Rock Radio still plays it.
Sex type thing?
Ready?
Oh,
yeah. So here we go. It is Stone Temple Pilots from Core. Wicked Garden. This song destroys. Oh, great album too, but Wicked Garden just never gets old. Wonderful chorus on this too. Awesome.
Holy crap, 100%.
Well,
I hear nothing on Lithium. Wait a minute. Mazzy had a
number 30?
Mazzy was talking about the cruise. Yes, the last cruise, the 80s cruise, the girlfriend of the lead singer from Faster Pussycat, well, fell overboard or jumped, whatever. But I do have a story that I'm not going to bring here, but I've told it because I talked to the people that were across the hall from it. They heard her. Well, they heard her fall. They heard her scream on the way down. They were going, "What is going on?" But they could hear him fighting up
No,
above.
it's what's going on?
What's going on?
Never mind.
What's
Never
up?
mind.
Hey, yeah, I know what you're. Yeah. So anyway, they heard it, but they didn't know what was going on.
What's going on?
God, good God Almighty! All right, so
Yeah.
Jesus,
Okay. Thank
the
you,
Reverend's here.
Jason.
May
Come
God,
on.
if that is I'm not sure if that's the Reverend or not, but I'm glad he's
Wow.
here to spiritually guide us.
Yeah. And he'll like my next
Um,
pick then.
I'm surprised no one picked Nirvana or Guns N' Roses. Well, we're not
91
done
They're
yet.
from 91.
Pumping Vinyl, we're not done yet.
Those albums are from 91.
Yeah, 91. You're right. All right. So John's done. Let's throw it over to Johnny Metal. Johnny Metal, you're up. Thank you,
Oh
John,
man.
by the way.
Okay, so Rev, this one's for you, my friend, because in 1992, I got to see this. This is the shirt from that show, the Revenge show that I saw October 1st, 1992. Talking about the Revenge album from Kiss. The Demon is back with Unholy. We have not heard the Demon in this regard since maybe Not for the Innocent. That would be my pick, you know. And you're talking about a longtime Kiss fan from as a child, and so after Lick It Up, you never heard the Demon much anymore until this. And Unholy brings it back. I love the man.
He loves it.
Co-write from Vinnie Vincent. This song was majorly played on my cassette player back in the day in my car. But yes, and amazing track. Love the riff. To me, I love Revenge. There's a lot of good stuff about Revenge. Maybe some of it hasn't aged all that well, but I'll take that over a lot of the 80s stuff, actually. So
would you say this is some of Gene Simmons' best work since?
Oh yes. Okay. Yes. I'll listen to. I mean, okay, Domino's still kind of Christine 16's like cousin or something, but I like Spit and I like Unholy, and there's a couple of other tracks. Thou Shalt Not, I thought was also really good too. But yes, great track. Anyway, next track let's go into some heavy groove metal. Because I just feeling like we got to bring in some Texas boys with this one. And if you don't agree with me, then walk on home, boy. Walk from Pantera. I could have picked almost any song off this album. I love Hollow. I love Mouth for War. This entire album is just, again, another one I played a lot back in the day. But man, there's just something about Walk that is just so infectious, and just I love that easy, simple groove that just bludgeons you. Like a Primal Concrete Sledge. That's another song on that album, I believe. Anyway, great track. RVD would use it as his entrance theme in ECW for a little while for the wrestling fans. Okay, next song. I think John's already talked about this. Byron's already talked about this. A lot of people in the comments have already talked about this. But my God, Alice in Chains Wood. What more can you say?
Oh, so we did have a third pick.
Yes. Jerry and Lane's vocals here are just so just almost spooky. Great atmosphere in this entire song. Lovely track. Still sounds great today. Written for Andrew Wood from Mother Love Bone, who died from a heroin overdose a couple years earlier. Unfortunately, Lane would see that same fate years later. But I'll tell you what a great track that is. And my top track, this will be, if Jake not from State Farm was still watching, he would be happy to know. Of course, I'm going to pick a Wasp song, for God's sakes. I got to pick something from Crimson Idol. Yes, it came in. It came out overseas in 92, didn't make it into the States till 93. I'm going with the track The Idol. This is the song where basically the lead character here, Jonathan's basically saying, where's the love to set me free? He gets to the top of the mountain and is nothing there. The Idol, one of my favorite tracks from this album. Love the entire album, but The Idol is probably my favorite track from this album. So there you go. I hope I redeemed myself from my first 3 picks.
No.
Hey, you like what you like. It's no big deal.
That's right. There's a lot of
We're all
good stuff
inclusive
out
here
there.
in the warehouse. We're, grunge is good, metal, whatever.
All the
Well, I'm
lists
not
have
talking-
great variety.
And
Everybody's
I
got great variety.
and I saw a guy named Andy something pick a Rich Mullins song, and that's on my honorable. So, but we'll
Johnny
get to
Metal
those later.
Fan Club. John will be out back after the show to sign autographs, everybody, if
You
you
got
want to
that
get
right.
one real
At the
quick.
merch table.
Actually,
got that
do him
right.
more of a favor. He's not going to sign autographs. Please get him off the number 666.
Yes.
Please subscribe to his channel, for goodness sakes.
Somebody, please.
Thanks in advance.
That 4 non-blondes just keeps popping up. All right, well, I'm going to go. You'll all be disappointed, but whatever. Todd Evans going to go, oh, I get it. But he's the only one that's going to get it. My next pick, this is one of my all-time favorite. Todd Evans is going to be so proud of me because he probably wishes he would have picked it because I am so dialed in on this song. This should have been on that album. This album is so good it could have been on the album before. I can listen to this song over and over and over again. Todd Evans, this one's for you, my friend. I'm going to go with The Cure, The Big Hand, which is on a letter to at least the single. This was recorded during the sessions. Why this wasn't on the album, I have no idea, but The Big Hand, absolutely brilliant Cure. Absolutely great track. Could have been on Disintegration as far as I'm concerned. Fabulous. Fabulous song. My next pick. I don't even need my notes. Screw it. I'll just do it. My next pick, I'm going to go with an artist that used to be in the Funky Kings. This is an artist that used to be in Jules and the Polar Bears. He went solo. He was on the Elliot Easton solo album. Who needs notes? I don't need notes. Going to go with, I just switched my thing around. That's what she said. I'm going to go with Jules Shear, The Sad Sound of the Wind from the Great Puzzle. Phenomenal record. This is Jules Shear on when he got signed over to Polydor. Put out a couple of records for that. Jules Shear never sold any records. He was more of a musician or an artist favorite because he was known for his songwriting. Wrote a lot of stuff. Bangles, wrote stuff for Cyndi Lauper. Phenomenal songwriter. His vocals, kind of questionable. It's an acquired taste, but as a songwriter, fantastic. This is probably my favorite Jules Shear solo album. You never hear about it. When it came out, I played this all the time.
I've never even seen that before.
Well, there you go. All right, Todd Evans.
I'll go find it.
Ooh, wait a minute. Todd Evans.
What?
Do it.
What? Do what?
It's not doing it.
Why would I do that?
No.
Why am I doing that?
It's raining bad. Boo. You never saw that.
No.
It didn't sell. So,
No, I never saw
it's
it.
all good. All right. So this is an album. My next 2 picks, I'm going to go. This would be my 9 and 10. I love this album. I am on board with John the Music Nut. I am tied in. I am holding John the Music Nut hand right now. Right now. I'm not, but
Right here, right now.
I'm going to go with, oh God, this is freaking phenomenal. This is my favorite song off this record. Hey Jealousy from New Miserable Experience.
Oh yeah.
This is a record that I can play and not skip. Would you call this power pop? I would say that a lot of it is. I would say that this is probably power pop. Jangly guitars. God dang, great songwriting on this record. They never achieved this again because they were a mess. Gin Blossoms were a damn mess. Doug Hopkins killed himself, but they threw him out of the band. He's on this record, but it's a tragedy. Go look at it.
He wrote this song.
He wrote this song, and he wrote this one. The others one, Found Out About You.
That's right.
He wrote this too. He was the songwriter in the band, and they could never bounce back. But yeah, Robin Wilson wrote some good songs, and Jesse wrote some good, but not like Douglas
Yeah.
Hopkins. No way. So anyway, I love this record. I've loved it ever since it came out. I can play it over and over again, and I don't care what anybody else says in the comment section. I
Excellent.
dig it.
Love
You
it.
want you can get this all day for 50 cents.
Yeah.
Nail
If you
Luck-
want to hear either of those two songs, I think they're both playing right now somewhere.
100%.
Just
That's
click
true.
the dial, turn your
It's just
dial.
like 5 o'clock.
I think I
West
hear one
Coast
of them
Dave,
now.
I don't care. I don't care. I love it. And I
Jealousy
don't
is a good thing.
care. Never change my mind. No, I don't give a rat's ass, so to speak. But I do appreciate you're here. That's one of those albums you hear too much off of. I don't know where you're at. I don't know who's playing it. Where are you at, Wolfpack, that they're playing this all the time?
Yeah, I'll move there.
I always liked you. I
The world.
always thought you were my favorite subscriber. I've loved you. You got great taste. Go ahead. What is How Gods Kill? Oh, that's what
Danzig, right?
Danzig.
Danzig.
Barely Manlow's and stuck in a time warp. Good choices tonight, guys. I might not like everything that is on, but it's fun to hear everyone's picks. It is a great time.
Thanks.
That's
Thanks,
where
Nick.
the fun. That's where the
Nick.
fun lies, Nick. It's
It's
That's
all
where the
about
fun is.
talking music. So anyway, that my final two. I had to pick two off this. I could have picked the whole damn record. I love this record, but there's a lot of records I like in '92. I'll be honest, but
All right.
I don't get tired of this at all. I totally get it. I totally get it. Wolfpack says REM wins. Maybe so. Well, we're at 127. We always do these shows. They're always an hour and a half. We can wrap this dog up. Please, I'm going to plead. Go over to Johnny Metal's channel, My Music Corner. Please subscribe. Get him off that number 666. It kills him that he's on the
Again,
number that beats
thanks in
all
advance
the
to whoever
time.
does it.
Has anybody checked? He might be up now. It might
Yeah.
be.
I haven't checked.
It might be
I'm
672 or something.
Nope.
Oh, who?
No, still there.
Yvonne.
Yvonne's not here. I know. I wish Yvonne was here because I could listen to Yvonne talk his picks because it's like, man, you want a different opinion.
It's a very good song. I have the 7-inch.
I have the
very
7-inch,
good.
the 12-inch,
Very good.
the 8-track, and the cassette single.
It's a very
I
good
know.
song.
He pulls up every 12-inch record on the planet. He's got like everything.
Remember he had
Also,
those
I'm getting
big
fond of my
Zappa 12
12-inch
inches.
collection.
Dave, it's all good. Your opinion, you can express your opinion here. It's all about talking music. I appreciate everybody here.
Let me
We
say
have
let me
each other.
say one thing that I truly appreciate, and I've always had respect for everybody on the panel here, but
Oh,
thank you guys for not bringing up What's Up by Four Non-Blondes, because that song makes me insane. And just because I have so much hatred built up just thinking about it, I got to punch a wall.
gee.
It's out of my system.
You know, we don't promote violence on this channel.
Oh, sorry, I'll take off the
DC.
gloves.
Okay.
I was
Nick-
tempted to do that, but I tried.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God, do I
Todd.
try not to?
If you really want to anger me, have me listen to it and play the video at the same time. Oh,
I would
My
never.
goodness,
Any of the
DC.
art-
Man, I
the
think
art
his,
students I was with in college.
I
He's
would
He's
so
like
never-
bright red too.
His microphone's gotten angry. It's gotten kind of running away from him.
Yeah, it's all catawampus. Wait a minute.
Better sit down there, DC. Calm
Easy.
down, boy. Calm down. All right, well, we can wrap this dog up. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. John the Music. Well, let's go right. John the Music Nut. Oh yeah, we need. Okay, we'll get. All right, John the Music Nut. What's happening on your channel? Anything coming up that we need to know about? Please subscribe to his channel. By the way, if you haven't.
Okay, thanks. Well,
Oh, and he froze.
Mr.
He's
BM Bolt
frozen.
and Mr. Ernesto Ramos on the show. We're going to do our second episode of the live cut. And what we're talking about on this show is live albums that don't get enough love. And we're going to talk about Gary Moore's Blues Alive from 1992.
92.
So that should be coming out. I'll probably put it on the 4th of July.
Well, I hope Ernesto shows up, so I'm pulling for you.
Thank you.
I can't get him.
He
He
says
says
he's
he's
coming.
missing on this show, but he never shows up when I book him, so I don't book him. Nothing against him, but you got to show up, or I'm not going to use you. That's all. Sorry, Ernesto, love you, but
Hey Grant, I had a
Sure.
I had a thought. Now you may discard this, but when we do these yearly shows, maybe you want to do that weekend, do a listening party from that year. Just a thought. I know you've got a lot of irons in the fires, but
okay. I'm a working, so am I.
That's what he is.
So I hope he shows up. I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, we already went to Mr. Johnny Metal. Let's go over to Todd Evans. Todd Evans he started his channel finally. Todd, what's coming up on your channel? What's the name of it's the Todd
Recurring
Evans
with
Show,
Todd
right?
Evans, yes.
Right, there you go.
Thank you for asking. I've got a show brewing in my head about formats. I want to talk about vinyl and CD and cassettes and stuff like that. And so I keep changing it in my head, and that's the only reason why it hasn't come out yet. But probably sometime this week. And then I am ready to start having some guests. And this would be a good time to ask Grant if he'll be my first guest, because I think I was the first guest on the Warehouse. If I'm not mistaken,
100%.
maybe. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of a topic. So you do the same, and we'll get together.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Thanks.
Yes. I would be honored. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, we know Byron doesn't have anything. DC just does what I tell him to do.
I took up enough time, but I want to bring up Helgard and thank him because he puts up playlists of our shows on the comment section on YouTube, and thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I don't even know if you're who's making a death threat? How would I even know? Well, like my people are making
It's obvious he doesn't know what's going on, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
He tries. Oh my God, does he try?
Let me put this on right now.
Pumping vinyl, stirring the pot right before he leaves. Before we wrap it up. Pretty funny. Anyway, thanks everybody. It's been fun. We will see you for 1993. Hopefully we can find some tracks for that. As we keep going, it's going to get harder. So I don't know how far we'll be able to take it. But anyway. Okay. Anybody's making any death threats against pumping vinyl, don't forget just please don't, because we're all about peace and love. So don't. Know what he's talking about. Crazy. All right. We'll see everybody. Have a good rest of the week. And we'll see you. Thank you, panel. We'll see you.